Hello, welcome to Pint Time with Backpacker Mike, episode 327. As you can see, I am back at the house here for today's live show. We're supposed to get some storms here in the next couple hours, and also heading out of town today, so wanted to stick close to the house. So we will be doing the live show from the house today. And today's episode is a little bit different. It's a little bit interesting, but yet different. It still kind of incorporates a little bit of the travel, but also more about beer and coffee. So today is episode 327, the Great Beer and Coffee Mashup. So that's what we're going to do. Charles, what's up, brother? Sharon's in Cleveland. Man, I put this new glass that wasn't the right glass on my cell phone, and it screws up every time I type. So anyway, Charles, you might be here for the right one then. This is going to be a mashup of beer and coffee. So again, welcome back to Pint Time. It's going to be slightly different today. We're talking about the coffee and beer connection. So welcome to the Great Coffee and Beer Mashup. If you guys missed it yesterday, I went live on TikTok with Morgan. He is from the UK. He traveled to Australia. We did a live show in Australia. I'll be uploading little tidbits of that to the Facebook page here, and maybe even the whole live if I could do that. So that was a lot of fun yesterday, and I was out in the studio for that. But a little historical context. Well, I'll just say whenever you elevate coffee beer to your nose, it tells you about 80% of the story, and before the glass even touches your lips. So I do like a really good coffee stout. A lot of stouts have coffee notes in them. Krill, what is up, Krill? Hello from Sweden. So basically the historical context and roasting parallels. Now, why do coffee and beer fit together so naturally? It basically comes down to chemistry and roasting, which you got to think, making beer and roasting barley and malt and hops and all of that stuff is very similar to roasting coffee beans. Hold on, I got to get a bottle opener. I forgot to grab it. All right, I got it. So in brewing, malted barley is roasted in kilns to create different beer styles. Like kilning gives you Pilsner malt, high heat roasting gives you chocolate malt and black patent malt, which creates stouts, basically, which is what I have right here. I have one of my favorite stouts of all time, next to the Guinness, of course. It's the Dragon Milk Stout. Absolutely love this stuff. And I don't have enough light to read the whole thing, but it gives off chocolate notes, coffee notes, and I forget what else off the top of my head. But either way, I should have left the lights on a little bit brighter. But Dragon's Milk. This comes in at 11% on the Richter scale. We're going to pour this one up. I've had it before, so I just wanted to have a couple like coffee style stouts with you guys, give you an idea. So if you're in the United States, you want to try a golden Dragon's Milk, go ahead and do it. It's so good. It's sweet, roasty, gives off some nice coffee notes. We're going to let that settle down a little bit. Now, in coffee, green beans go through a similar thermal transformation. So the Maillard reaction and caramelization. When a brewer pairs roasted barley with roasted coffee beans, they're stacking complementary flavor compounds on top of each other, basically. It makes all the difference, but how we get that coffee into the beer really does make all the difference. Now, the brewing mechanics and how coffee meets beer. Basically, there's 4 infusion methods that you can do to get the coffee into the beer. Now, if you ask 10 different, craft beer brewers how to make a coffee beer, you'll get 10 different answers on how to do it. But basically what it does is it breaks down to about 4 major methods. Cheers. The ABV is definitely there, but it's such a good, smooth drinking. If you love stouts, it's a really good one. It's aged in bourbon barrels as well, so you get that kind of like bourbon flavor on it. But yeah, the Dragon's Milk is always on my list. So now, one of the ways to do it is hot brewed coffee, right? You pour hot brewed coffee right into the boil or the wort. This was the old school method. You brew hot coffee or dump grounds directly into the wort. The problem here is that high heat extracts astringent tannins and harsh acids from coffee grounds. So if it's done wrong, the beer tastes like green pepper and burnt rubber, which isn't good. So you don't want that. You don't want to get that. The second way they do it is cold brew fusion, which is pretty much one of the better ways to do it. It's an industry standard to get coffee into beer that way. Most modern craft brewers use cold brew. They steep coarsely ground coffee in cold water for about 12 to 24 hours to extract the rich chocolate, fruit, and nutty oils without pulling out the harsh, bitter acids and tannins that you would get by brewing it. They pump that cold brew directly into the bright tank right before canning. So the bright tank is basically the finishing tank that goes straight from that into the keg or the bottle or the can. So basically they're pumping the cold brew coffee straight into the beer and then putting it right into the can. The third way of doing it is called dry beaning. It's basically aged on whole beans. So basically just like dry hopping beer for hop aroma, brewers add whole roasted beans directly into the fermenter or conditioning tank. The alcohol acts as a solvent, and it gently extracts the delicate aromas and oils out of the beans over a few days without pulling out the bitter tannins or heavy, dark colors of the coffee bean. So this is also another way to infuse good coffee notes within the beer without giving it an off taste or a bitter taste. The fourth way is espresso shots at canning. Now, some of them will use like high quality imperial stouts, use direct espresso concentrates right at kegging or packaging to deliver an intense concentrated punch of dark roasted notes. So in a sense, it's the same way as the dry beaning, except they're using a coffee concentrate and shooting it directly into the beer. And again, you got to make sure that you have the right measurements, otherwise the coffee will overpower everything else, especially when you're getting into the concentrates. So that's the fourth way to do it. Anybody on here like coffee stouts, by the way? Just in case. I think I lost everybody though, but now beyond the stout, surprising coffee beer styles. When most people hear coffee beer, they think it's going to be dark like this, right? They hear coffee and they think aromatic. They think of heavy 10% imperial stouts or 11% dragon milk stouts. In the dead of winter, around the fire and all that stuff. But brewers have completely shattered that mold now. So like coffee cream ales and golden ales, basically they use the dry beaning process on light colored base beers, and you look at the glass and expect a light, crisp lawnmower beer, but you take a sip and your brain sort of short circuits because it tastes like a fresh vanilla latte. I have had some white coffee beers, cream ales, and things like that, and I do enjoy them if they're done correctly, but sometimes they can be a little bit off. They've also made coffee IPAs. Now, I'm not a big fan of IPAs to begin with. However, you know, the coffee IPA, I don't know, but apparently it goes really well. The citrusy tropical notes of like Citra, Mosaic, and Amarillo hops paired with bright berry-forward coffee beans. It sounds kind of crazy, but until you try it, the citrus notes in the hops lift the fruit notes in the coffee bean. So some people may not know that there are many different notes within certain coffees, especially single origin coffees like my coffee brand Destination Brews. Single origin coffees are all hand-picked. The berries are hand-picked, separated by green, darker berry, more ripe berries. They give off different notes. So, you know, like some coffees, you might get blueberries, you might get chocolate, you might get, you know, some type of spice. So basically what we'll do is we'll get into the single origin coffee and craft beer pairings, which if a brewery wants to do a very good coffee stout or a coffee ale, they want high quality coffee beans or coffee. And most of them want single origins because they want to draw out those flavors from each region to pair well with the beer that they've made. So, for instance, just like hops reflect where they are growing, like Yakima Valley versus New Zealand, coffee beans reflect their origin soils, elevation, and climate. You just can't throw away random grocery store. You just can't throw in random grocery store coffee into a beer and expect greatness with it. So let's break down what specialized brewers pair specific coffee origins with their base beer styles. And this is sort of where my coffee brand comes in. East African beans from Ethiopia or Kenya. I do have an Ethiopian and a Kenyan coffee available on my website if you wanted to check it out. But the profiles of these single origin coffees are generally bright, floral, with high acidity, heavy notes of blueberry, stone fruit, and jasmine. And the best beer pairings that the brewers will pair these beans with are golden ales, saisons, sour ales, or fruity pale ales. Then we go into the Central and South American coffee beans, and that's from like Colombia, Guatemala, and Brazil. And I have all three of those single origin coffees at Destination Brews also. Now, the profile with these coffees, they're balanced, milk chocolate notes, toasted hazelnut, subtle caramel, and low acidity in these coffees. And most of the brewers will pair these beers with those beans, and that is American porters, brown ales, and oatmeal stouts, believe it or not. A lot of the stouts are going to have coffee notes. Now, the Indonesian Pacific beans like Sumatra, which I actually have Sumatra right here from my Destination Brews. This will make you about 15 to 20, 25 cups of coffee, depending on how much you want to use. They have breather holes in the top so you can smell the notes from the coffee. But this one is Sumatra. So this is one that I'm talking about right now. It's Indonesian Pacific beans like Sumatra and Java. The profile of these are heavy body, earthy, dark cocoa, spice, smoky notes, which you can get right through the breathe hole on my bags. And almost zero acidity in these. Now, the best beer pairings that brewers will pair this beer with is Russian imperial stouts, Baltic porters, and barrel-aged milk stouts, like this one. So they put a Sumatra in here. So if I were to smell this and I were to smell this, they give off very similar notes. Very similar notes. So I have like I said, I have a bunch of different ones. You can just go on there to Destination Brews. Like this one is from Tanzania. This one is from Uganda, which is another really good one. I enjoy the Uganda. So yeah, if you happen to be a brewer and you're looking for some high quality beans to make your next brew with, feel free to check it out. Destination Brews coffee-infused.com. And if it's something that you want to do, message me directly and I'll hook you up with a discount if you're going to buy a bunch to do a beer with. So now basically here's the big misconception. People assume coffee beers require dark coffee roast, but that is not true. Actually, many brewers prefer medium to light medium roasts. Why? Because heavy roasting burns off the unique, delicate origin flavors of the coffee bean, which is very important to preserve so that you can get that into the beer and it not taste weird. If you use an over-roasted bean, all you'll taste in the beer is charcoal, basically, or you'll get like real bitter notes. I've had some not so good coffee stouts and beers before, and you could tell they used either really cheap coffee or the process in doing it wasn't the best. A medium roast lets the bean's natural sweetness and origin characteristics shine through the malt structure of the beer. So, there you go. I am cruising through this thing. I'm almost done. I forgot to tell Yoshi that I was on. I'm in such a hurry today because I got so much to do. But I'll stick around. I'll stick around, answer some more questions, maybe go through a little bit of the show as people pop on. But Yoshi just asked me if I was doing my stream. And he's one I forgot to send a message to. So basically, I'll wrap it up, and then we'll kind of go through it. If Yoshi gets on, I'll skip through a few little things here and there. But basically, to wrap up, what makes a coffee beer truly exceptional? To wrap this deep dive up tonight, it comes down to three things, basically. The balance. Coffee should be an ingredient in harmony with the beer that you're producing, not a dominant syrup that masks bad brewing, basically. If it tastes like cold leftover gas station coffee, the brewer failed the balance test, basically, because it shouldn't be that way. Now, I know coffee brews can be a little difficult sometimes, but, if you get a bad batch, just toss it and start over. The aroma and the integrity. Number two, the beer must smell like fresh whole bean coffee the moment it hits the glass. Sort of like this one does with extras in it like syrups and smoky notes. And the mouthfeel, the body of the beer must support the oil and texture of the beer. So like if it's a real watery based beer with the coffee and the coffee feels thin, like it feels really thin to the mouth, it should have a velvety malt base with coffee feels like liquid silk, sort of like this one. It's not a body that kind of punches you in the face. It's like a body that just kind of slides across your palate, provides a whole bunch of complex flavor notes, and it's pleasant to drink. So that's basically how it should go when you do these, especially like the higher ABVs. When you get into the higher ABV stouts with coffee notes and things in them, like this one is perfect. The coffee that they use is perfect with this. It goes absolutely great. They do an amazing job at this. And you have to have sort of that right balance. I've had some before that were real bitter and just nasty tasting. And it's just because either they used the wrong coffee or didn't use a high quality coffee. or they didn't roast it properly, or depending on what process they used. So anyway, anybody like coffee stouts? I think I lost everybody again, which is fine. This shit is going to be over in like 30 minutes. But anyway, yeah, I'm thinking about doing some more live shows on TikTok. I was trying to multicast, I guess, while I was on TikTok yesterday through my tablets, but I realized that I don't have Facebook on any of my tablets. So it was wanting me to sign in, and I don't remember any of that stuff from Facebook. So I couldn't sign in yesterday, basically, moral of the story. I couldn't sign in yesterday, and so I wasn't able to broadcast that. So I'll do this show today. Next week, I believe the show will be on Saturday again. I'll more than likely be at the studio then. Oh, you're still there, Charles? Oh, I see you popped up now. You did go away up here for a second. So next Saturday, I believe I'll be at the studio. And then the following Saturday, I believe it is, I'm going to have to do the show on Friday. Also, probably, because we're going to the Daytona NASCAR race that Saturday. And it's a night race, so we probably got to head out kind of early, unless I do the show at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon or something like that. But that would be a long day, so I might just do it Saturday, or I might just do it Sunday that week. So not this coming Saturday. I believe this coming Saturday we're still good. I'll probably be at the studio. Gotta grab my trusty planner here. So yeah, I'll do the show on Friday the 28th. But next Saturday, the show will be on Saturday, and I'll be out at the studio. The following Saturday, the show will be on Friday, probably about the same time as now, providing nothing changes. But that's where we're at. Charles, you like good coffee stouts? I think you like stouts, right? I don't know if you like coffee stouts or not. It was kind of cool going through this process because I didn't really know exactly, how they brewed the coffee stout. So going through this kind of, like I had ideas, obviously, whether they just poured it over raw beans, or did they use roasted beans, or did they just put, coffee concentrate? Like, I didn't really know, and it turns out that many of the options that I was thinking of were options that they actually use. But I would say, if I had to guess, I'm not exactly sure every coffee stout and how they brewed it and what way they brewed it in, but I would say the way the dry beaning and the cold fusion kind of explains it is probably most of the ways that I've had coffee stouts or coffee ales has been like that. I'm wondering if this is vanilla. This has vanilla in it for sure. And a 3-month stay in bourbon barrels to create a truly legendary blend of flavor. So the beer spent 3 months in bourbon barrels. They added vanilla to it, coffee. Yeah, it says coffee and I don't know. It's hard to read that the way they have it, especially without enough light. But anyway, there's vanilla and coffee in there, and aged in bourbon barrels. Never had a coffee stout. No, really? But you like stouts, right? Like, have you ever had this Dragon Milk stout, barrel aged stout? It's really good. That's really good. This gives off such a more complex sort of stout bourbon notes, oaky notes, vanilla notes, coffee notes than, say, this next one that I'm going to crack, and that is the Murphy Stout. This Murphy Stout comes across a lot more drier, so it has more of a slightly bitter, dark sort of coffee notes to it, whereas this one does as well, but the fact that they added vanilla and various other things, Murphy Stout has been brewed in the same unique recipe since 1856. We pride ourselves in only using the top ingredients of pale malt, chocolate malt, roasted barley, and hops. Murphy's offers you the uniquely smooth, creamy, and wonderful, palatable, full-bodied stout flavor with roasted chocolate and coffee undertones and a biscuity, sweet malt aroma. Now, I will say that, this is slightly sweet, but it's nothing compared to this Dragon's Milk here. And I just noticed that Murphy's was bought out by Heineken. Brewed and canned by Heineken, UK Limited. Product of the UK. Imported by Heineken USA, White Plains, New York. So, James J. Murphy, founder. But anyway. I can't remember if I tried that one. I want to say no. Well, you got to find one. You do like stout. Oh, yeah, you do. Okay, I saw that one. I was going to say, I thought we both kind of liked stouts. We just weren't both either keen very much of IPAs. This Murphy Stout is basically just... I hate to say it, Guinness is my favorite, but it's pretty close to a Guinness. Except the Murphy's, you want to start off, it even has a diagram on the can. You want to do it about that way, about 3/4 full, and then you want it to settle a little bit. Like here, as you can see, you take it from the can, then you do a 90. Then you slowly tip it up. Let it settle, and then you finish off the rest of the can. So like it's settled now you just pour the rest of it just straight on in. And it's going to froth up really nice. Whereas the Guinness, I just dump that sucker in and just let it pour itself up. But almost a perfect pour. Let's see if we can split the G. Nope, I went below. You see some people want to split the G and then they go chugging the whole thing. They knew what they were doing. However, I'm going to do a little experiment. Why not? I've got a little bit of the Dragon's Milk left, and I just poured this Murphy's. So let's just see. Murphy's Dragon Milk combination. You can see how thick that is when it drips out of the bottle or out of the glass there. It should be good, right? Here we go. Cheers. It's actually pretty good. I feel like the nitro just makes it more creamy. And the rest of that Dragon's Milk that was in there sort of... I need to come up with a drink for that. Maybe I'll mix a Guinness and a Dragon's Milk together or something and come up with a name of it. I don't know. The Irish Dragon. How about that one, Charles? The Irish Dragon. Dragon's Milk and a Guinness. It's actually pretty good. You get bitter notes, you get sweet notes. It gets creamy. I actually feel like if Dragon's Milk were to do a nitro in this, if they could, that would be phenomenal because it would add a layer of creaminess to the sip. That's so weird. That did not sound Irish at all. Anyway, Charles, you got anything else? Oh, but anyway, back to the TikTok. Charles, I think I saw you jump on the TikTok yesterday briefly. I don't know. It was so hard. It was the first time doing a TikTok live, and of course, you know, it's all new to me on how to manage things and put things in and do this and that and the other. So the beginning of it was a little bit sketchy as we were trying to figure things out. I made Morgan the moderator or whatever, plus he joined in. But you know, after we got all that sort of situated out, the live went really well, I think. But there was probably 50 to 100 people or more that just popped in for a few seconds to kind of see what was going on, etc. And it was pretty interesting. I know there's a lot of ways, a lot of different things you can do on TikTok, especially if you go through TikTok Live Manager. Plus, over there, they have, a lot of, like here we have stars, but I don't ever get stars on Facebook, and they only give you like pennies for it, really. But over there, they have various different gifts that they can give and things like that. There just seems to be a lot more incentive to do lives on TikTok. So I think what either Morgan and I might do a regular live together on TikTok every week. And maybe in that process, we invite another traveler on to sort of do an interview or a collaboration about a specific country. Like if, a collaborator that we communicate with or reach out to wants to jump on that live, if we're talking about Vietnam and they live in Vietnam or something, you know what I mean? And then get them on and they can give another perspective as well. So I think I'm hoping that I can simultaneously broadcast both of those lives. And I might still continue to do the live just on Facebook on Saturdays. I'll just have to see like how it goes. So yeah, but I actually really kind of enjoyed it. Now you just got to get a bartender to make one. Oh, a bartender to make a Irish dragon. They have dragon's milk in Guinness. I would assume that the dragon's milk is heavier than a Guinness, so it might be that you pour the dragon's milk first, and then you layer the Guinness on top, sort of like a snake bite, or where you lay the Guinness on top of a cider or something like that. That might be actually pretty good. Now that I'm thinking about it, that could be dangerous, because this is really good just mixed the way I mixed it. The two beers complement themselves perfectly. Also, Charles, it will depend on whether or not the bar has dragon's milk, because a lot of them don't. And they only have it in a bottle more often than not, if they do have it. But yeah, that would be amazing for sure. So heading to St. Augustine this weekend. So look for a travel video or two from there. I'll probably do them like I did the ones in Ohio and Flight 93. I'll probably do them similar to that fashion. But I love St. Augustine. I've been there a bunch of times. Kim hasn't been there yet, so excited to see, you know, what she thinks of it. But it's the oldest city in the United States. It was founded in I think 1535 by Pedro Menendez, a Spanish explorer. I mean, I say founded, you know, I want to emphasize European discovery because there were native Indians there already. I believe they were the Tecumseh Indians or something. But as far as founded by European explorers, it's the oldest city in the United States. Everybody thought Plymouth was it, but Menendez beat Plymouth by 60 years. And Florida was under Spanish rule up until maybe the early 1800s, I think. Maybe 1835 or something like that. 18 something. I know it was early to mid 1800s, say, I believe. And then we gained Florida into the United States. So super excited to go there and see Fort Castillo again. That fort is really cool. But yeah, so we'll be there tomorrow doing all that stuff. So that's why I had to do the show today. But Charles, you got to come down to Florida and visit, man. Come on down here. I got a couch you can crash on if you want a free place to crash. If not, we got a bunch of hotels around here. And here in Sebring, we're about, I don't know, an hour and a half to 2 hours from either coast drive. So we drive that fairly regularly, so it's not a big deal for us to drive that far. But yeah, come on down and visit, hang out, take you all over. I guess Yoshi's not getting on. He said, "What time is your stream, brother?" But I guess he's not getting on. I feel bad that I forgot to send him a message right away. Anyway. All right, well, Charles, thanks for hanging out with me, man. I truly appreciate it. And this live show was 40 minutes, 45 minutes. It's like the quickest live show ever, I think. But I already got most of my stuff packed. Just got to do a few other things, cooler and stuff like that. Football's coming back, man. I gotta get my finances in order. I fell behind on a few bills. I don't want to come to visit for a while now. I understand, brother. Trust me, I understand. Well, when you get it situated, just let me know. You always got a place. And yeah, we'll hook it up, man. I'll take you everywhere. We're I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours from Disney World if you want to do that type of thing. Busch Gardens, not far. Any of the beaches, hour and a half to 2 hours. Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, they're all within distance. Lake Okeechobee is 30, 40 minutes down the road. If you want to go take a hike through the Big Cypress Swamp or go see the Miccosukee Indian Reservation, stuff like that, I can take you to that. That's not far at all. Solomon's Castle is pretty cool. So yeah, I got lots of stuff to take you to and show you around. So yeah, just let me know when you get things situated. So, all right, Charles, thanks for hanging out, brother. I appreciate it, man. I really do. Anybody watching the replay, Charles has gotten himself to Destination Brews and has enjoyed it, from what I understand. He does the pods though. But yeah, search out destinationbrews.com. Order your coffee. My roasters, my two main roasters. One is the Chicago Coffee Company. In Chicago, they are one of the oldest coffee roasters and coffee companies in the United States, along with the Temecula Roasting Company in Temecula, California. They order the raw beans in from these single origin places around the world from ethical farms. And they roast them here in the United States and they ship them to you. So, set warning, I snore. So do I, and so does Kim. Kim snores louder than I do, which if she was on here right now, she'd probably be yelling at me, but so it's okay. Snoring is fine. Worst case scenario, just put earplugs in. I want to do a little bit of everything. Absolutely, yeah. I love my Destination Brews. I love it too, not just because, you know, it's my brand, but I had a bunch of different coffees that I ordered to give away as free samples and things, and I've obviously tried a bunch of them, and I actually really do like a lot of them. And so, yeah, I appreciate that, Charles, and I appreciate the support. But yeah, we'll do a little bit of everything. We can do a little bit of everything. We'll check out everything. Plus, we got a really cool Irish pub downtown. Got to go to the Irish pub. There's a really cool Irish pub over in Punta Gorda that I'd want to take you to called the Celtic. All of a sudden, I forgot the name of it. It's the Celtic Rays. I'll get it right, or Celtic Rays, however you want to say it. It used to be more of like an original Irish pub with the Irish oak wood on the bar and all that stuff. And that little part is still there. However, they've built onto it, modernized it, upstairs, Art Deco type thing. So, you know, you got to kind of move to the one little part, original part of the bar to get that sort of like old Irish feel that it used to have. But anyway, yeah, we'll go over there. Take you kayaking if you want to go kayaking. We can go snorkeling if you want to go snorkeling. We got everything here. You want to go to Gator Farm? I'll take you to Gator Farm. You want to go see live gators? I'll just take you golfing. We'll see some gators while we're golfing. You can knock them with a 9-iron and they'll run back into the water. So, and when you show up, Charles, and I get you from the airport, when you walk off the plane and everything, and I see you, I'm going to be like, welcome to Jurassic Park. Just kidding. Anyway, brother, yeah, I hope you make it down here soon. Anyway, all right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I truly appreciate it. As always, episode 327, the Great Beer and Coffee Mashup. So, yeah. Coffee stouts. If you haven't tried one, try one. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Thank you again, Charles. Truly appreciate you, man. You're awesome. Get the 6-bean blend, everyone. You won't be disappointed. That's awesome. I got to get the 6-bean blend and try it myself. I haven't had the 6-bean blend, so I got to check that out myself. But yeah, welcome to Jurassic Park, Charles. Anyway, yeah, get here as soon as you can, brother. You know, I got your back. So if you're a little low, you know, it's okay. Just get the plane ticket. We'll figure the rest of it out. All right, guys, thank you so much. And as always, peace, love, and let's continue to experience this beautiful world together. I truly appreciate you guys and all of your support. Thank you so much. Peace.